Let's now explain Zora Clipping, and in particular how to do it. So, as its name implies, Zora Clipping will allow Zora Link to clip through some walls. Let's show you how that would work with the Deku guards right here. So here I would try to target the second horizontal white line that's closest to the Deku guard. So not this one, not that one, but this one. That's kind of the latest you can target to not interact with them or not target one of the guards. So target, move to the first white line here, and what you're going to do to Zora Clip is hold B as you're still targeting. Then as you're still holding target, or L or Z depending on what you're playing on, and B, you're going to input a jump slash or an A input, and then hold L and B as you're jump slashing, and that will make Zora Link clip through the Deku guards. So let's show it again. Let's do it kind of faster now. So target before that second line there. Go here. Hold while you're holding L and B, press A. Well, that's what it would look like a bit faster. And also, there's a point where you can release L. You can release L a bit earlier. Let me just get Link out of the poisonous water. Or not. Okay, it's gonna... My angle is all screwed up. Okay, that's fine. So target. Get closer. Hold B, press A, and when the jump slash finishes, usually you're able to release L. There you go. That works too. And so that's Zora Clipping. Show you a ledge pop-up. This is more knowledge about the game than like a trick per se, but when Link is just high enough above a ledge, or Link's head in particular is just high enough above a ledge, he's going to pop up the ledge if you hold towards it. Well, I just wanted to take the time at least once to mention this, especially for that platform here and some other instances in dungeons and in the overworld, because here it's a bit of confidence development you'll need to make, is to trust the ledges for the pop-ups and learn to actually get the pop-ups correctly. And it's really simple. You just hold towards the ledge you're going to. I don't know if I'm going to make it here, but I have code, so it's fine. So you fly towards that, hold towards the ledge, and you pop up. That's about that. Let us talk about ESS position again. I did in the second tech video for the tutorial, but I want to mention it again because we will need it for bottle duplication. So barely hold outside your dead zone and you will get what's called the ESS position, where Link has his feet shuffling and where he's going to turn in place. You can do it in all directions. And if you want to preserve it, you start holding the ESS position and hold target right after and maintain the ESS position. Now explain how to do ESS bottle duplication. For that you will need a bottle that will stay in Link's hand once it has already something in it. Right now it's empty, so we could not do ESS bottle duplication right now. You will need naturally ESS position, and you will need some item with a 0 amount so that you can hear this sound. So the cancelled sound or the not possible sound, you need an item that can do that to start bottle duplication from ESS position. And we'll need to fill in our bottle with anything we can drop after, so something like a fairy, bugs, fish, even drinking a... I don't think drinking a potion works actually, never mind. Not drinking a potion. So we're gonna grab a fairy. It's the first step. Then clear the text. Probably did it wrong, but whatever. And now you want to make sure not to put away the bottle, okay? So here, beginner way of doing it. Let's explain that in the start menu so I can explain without actually starting it. So you're going to hold ESS position, Right now we're going to try to do ESS position plus hold L to maintain it. And then, in quick succession, you're going to hold your bottle button, then right after the item that has 0 as the ammo count. So in this case, that would not work with bombs right now because I have 20 bombs, but it will work with stick. And that will overwrite an empty bottle over the Deku Stick item slot. Let's see what that looks like. So, start ESS position. Hold L to maintain it, and then quickly bottle then stick, or in my case, C down then C left, or Z then Y. Looks like this. And there you go, we've overwritten Deku Stick slot with a bottle, and that's not just a bottle on your C items, it's a bottle in your actual inventory. So now we have a semi-permanent bottle for putting extra things like Zora eggs. And you want to keep that bottle for as long as you haven't used what's inside of it, and for that, it's very simple. You avoid the item associated to that item slot. So in our case, that means once we have a bottle duplicated over Deku Sticks, we want to avoid collecting Deku Sticks until we use what's in the bottle, or until we're done using it for whatever purpose. And it would also work if we had 0 Deku Nuts, or 0 Bomb Shoes, or 0 Bombs. And that is ESS bottle duplication. If you want to go for a slightly faster, slightly more advanced way of doing ESS bottle duplication, it's very similar. The only thing is that instead of holding ESS position, then L, you're just going to hold ESS position and press your bottle then stick or 0 ammo item right after the other before ESS position is over. So that's gonna look like this. You have to do it kind of quickly. It's a bit more advanced. I wasn't comfortable before a long while, but it still gives the same effect when done correctly of writing a bottle over your item slot.
We will now talk about how to skip the cutscene after playing New Wave Bossa Nova to wake up the turtle. Let me start the recording I have for this. So here's my setup as Zora Link. I'm going to target right next to Zora Hall's entrance. I'm going to side hop twice, then flick right, target, and then equip Ocarina. Let's look at that again. It's going a bit fast, so again, target the wall, 2 side hops, flick right, target, and then pull out Ocarina. And then play the song. And now what you want to do is press start the moment you see the notes disappear on screen. So the best practice for that is to time it. I mash it sometimes or do something in between where I time, I guess, the start of my mashing, hoping I get it. So if you want to start by mashing it to see where the frame is, see the reaction time, that's cool, but eventually you want to try and time when the notes disappear. So there. And then what you want to do is pause buffer an L input or a Z input on N64, so Link targets, and then you will keep holding L and input a left side hop. So now, because of how we placed ourselves before playing the song, even though the camera is facing towards Link's right now, because of how we set up the camera before and because of the targeting, the game will actually interpret the left side hop not as a roll from that angle, but as a correct side hop to the left, and that will take us to the Zora Hall loading zone. And now we will pause buffer all along to make it to the loading zone, and that will allow us to skip the cutscene. And here it's like Happy Mask Salesman cutscene skip. You have to buffer frame by frame. If 2 frames pass, you are going to fail the cutscene skip and have to watch the cutscene. And as you can see here, I just got it. You make it to Zora Hall. It's a very short cutscene compared to watching the one with the turtle. And after that, you just leave. Let's now explain Ocarina Items. So Ocarina Items allow you to use the Ocarina without actually having an Ocarina equipped, or without even having it in your inventory. And it's going to require a bottle items in Link's hand. So let's show what it looks like quickly and then explain it in details and step by step. So you grab a bottle item. You hold ESS position. So either by doing ESS plus L or just holding it. And as you're holding ESS position, what you're going to do is press your bottle item, not in the start menu but in the gameplay, then B right after the other, and that will give you an Ocarina underwater. So that looks like this. So hold ESS position, and then quickly, in my case that'll be C left or Y, then B. So one right after the other, really quickly. And there you go, you have an Ocarina underwater, and you can do things like warping to an owl statue from underwater. That's the main use we're going to have for it in all dungeons restricted. And in this case, if you're at Pinnacle Rock after the last 3 Zora eggs there, well, the first 3 Zora eggs, you'll be able to warp back to the lab. Let's now talk about a mechanic called Power Crouch Stab. So first, let's see how much health this Tektite has. I don't have a lot. So 1 hit with the sword, 2 hits, 3 hits. Well, this Tektite, with normal slashes, that's 1 unit of damage. That means this Tektite had 3 of health. That's how we count health. So your basic damage is slashes, so horizontal slashes, vertical slashes, thrusts. They all do 1 damage. So now, let's see what happens if I do a slash and crouch stab the Tektite. It still took 3 hits, 3 crouch stabs to kill the Tektite, and so that's normal. 3 attacks for 3 times 1, that's 3, that's fine. However, let's see what happens if we don't slash before doing the crouch stab. Well, nothing happens, so we cannot damage the Tektite right now, because we are playing right now on the Japanese version. So on the Japanese version, before actually doing damage with your sword, you need to slash it, and then that will start doing damage. So, first big difference between Japanese and American versions of MM is you need to slash or jump slash before doing damage with the crouch stab on the Japanese version. So if we slash once and then crouch stab, kills the Tektite in 3 hits. However, if we jump slash first, which has damage value of 2, this is what happens. 1, 2 hits. And so what happened is that the damage value on the Japanese version of your last attack, in our case a Kokiri sword jump slash, got transferred to our crouch stab. So that's how it's decided. But that was patched on the English version, and I think probably PAL, I'd have to confirm. And so we can essentially spam a higher amount of damage with crouch stab. So in some situations, you might think to yourself, but why would you want to do that? For one, it's kind of more defensive. For two, you can do more damage with something easier to time, so to stun lock enemies, that'll be very helpful. And also, that can help you save on Deku sticks in the Japanese version.
In this case, I can even transfer damage between weapons. The game doesn't care. So if I do a Deku Stick jump slash, that's 2 base damage for Deku Stick, times 2 because it's a jump slash. That's going to be 4 damage, and that should one-hit knock out the tech type. And it did. And that's power crouch stab, and that will be really, really helpful to fight enemies throughout Majora's Mask speedruns.